friends, social media. How often, what do you spend most of your time
Doing,
on?
yes.
Because sometimes you see that a student has the book, his or her book on her
Table in front of the
table. Beside her is her phone. It's either you want to read or you want to ping.
Yes.
So set a timetable for your
You
reading.
cannot ping and read at the same time.
cannot.
You set a timetable for your reading. Put aside your phone. We had lived without phones. Switch it off if need be. Focus on this. No areas that you defaulted. Improve on those areas. And once you're a student and you have your time on your book steadily, before you know it, you're mastering it. So again, the kind of friends you have. Because even in business, your kind of friends should matter. Because you wouldn't keep friends who have negative vibes around you and expect to be positive. The comments they make, the discussions they bring on board, the kind of things they bring to discuss around you, they might just give you an impression that you felt that course because of the lecturer. It might not be the lecturer. Look at yourself.
If it's the lecturer,
It's
how
always
come
the lecturer's
98% of the class passed?
That's
Only
some-
two.
that's something I
Was
used
it not
to
the
say.
same lecturer?
Oh.
That's something I used to say. If you make an A, I made A. If you
Yes.
make a D, they
They
gave
gave
me
me-
D.
they gave me
so
D,
please,
exactly.
if they actually gave you D, try and make an A.
Try and
That
let
is it.
try and make them give you an A.
Yes.
For me, there's an adage that says that if you run around with chickens, you will quack like chickens, right? But if you run around with eagles, you will soar like the eagle. And everybody wants to soar, right? If social media is a problem, which it is, block it out like he said.
It is.
But for me, the first thing to do, when you want to go back and press that reset button, is to go and get your syllabus. Every school has got a syllabus. They are making it in such a way that each term, they have partitioned the syllabus into terms.
Yeah.
They have made special books, aside from the syllabus that the government has sent to the school. The school themselves, based on the books that they are using and their own specific curriculum, have fashioned out syllabuses for the year, from year 1 to year 6. And they have given it to the students. Even if you have to buy at an extra cost, parents have bought the syllabuses for the children. What is stopping you now from reading ahead of your teachers?
Great.
What is
I mean,
stopping you from preparing ahead of
some
your
people will
teachers?
resume in a week's time or so, others not. Maybe you
Why
were
would
partying all
Rita,
through and
Rita,
you didn't read
Rita,
before now. You have a
why
couple of
would you-
days.
Why would a class of 50 or a class of 25, 1, 2, 3, 4, A to D, 100, sit down during prize giving day and only one student is taking all of their work? Does he or she have two heads?
Okay,
What did she
Doctor.
do? Of course, we all learn at a
Yes.
different rates. We all
Exactly,
assimilate at a different rate.
exactly.
We all understand at a different rate. If you know that your rate of assimilation and understanding is slower or lower than that of your
Do the
peer,
extra work,
do the
right?
extra work.
I like that. You know,
Do the extra work. We have
it's-
people who are dyslexic. We have people who have learning disabilities. The sooner these learning disabilities are identified
And
they
managed
are
properly.
managed properly, the sooner that we'll be able to take good care of our learning abilities and help our children to grow in the right direction.
Nideka, you were
But the
going to say
first thing
something?
is first, work with your syllabus. Like he said, if your friends are not helping you, based on
Discard
also
them.
the adage that I mentioned,
discard them.
But listen, those friends are also people's kids,
Right.
and they also need to help. So if you cannot change them to be better students, discard them, because your future is at stake and the future of the country.
So if you can,
is at
if you
stake.
can influence them,
If you
fine.
can influence them for the
You
better.
can also set yourself a target to do a new program this year. Maybe you want to do an MBA, you want to go to
PhD.
LBA, you want to do a PhD, you've been
Yes.
procrastinating. Next week, get the form.
That
okay.
is it.
You were going to add something to that.
Doctor, you know, I so
This
much,
week. Don't
I
do
so
it
much
next
keen
week.
to what you have said, but I want to say something to somebody out there. You know, maybe it's a parent or it's a student or whatever you're learning. You see, there's this misconception about I'm not doing well because I'm not naturally intelligent. I'm not doing well because her intelligence is inherited and all that kind of excuses. You know, so either the parent is giving an excuse for the child or the child is giving an excuse that whatever. And I'm sorry, I beg to disagree. I think everybody has been created, God is not partial, with the capacity to improve and be intelligent. The thing that you students out there don't know is that your friends that give you the impression that, oh no, I don't read. The only thing I know is what the lecturer, my brain, is what do they call them? Hot brains. Yes, I agree there are some people that naturally have a high level of IQ. But I can tell you, go and look well. That
They
your
read at
friend reads when you are not aware.
Exactly.
I say that because I'm also, well, one of the best in my class.
Angelica, you did that.
I was always reading. Forget that thing.
And you come and be playing.
I know. I was
Me,
always
that was what I was
reading.
doing. I'll read in
you
the
know,
night and play
this
in the
thing
morning.
reminds me so much about, everybody knows about Ben Carson. If you read his story, I read one of his
Yeah.
books, I
The
was
Gifted
taken
Hands.
aback. He was the worst student in his class.
And that was because
Ben
he had
Carson
poor
was
eyesight.
termed
Poor eyesight.
Dumb
couldn't
and
see.
unintelligent.
Yes.
Until the mother, having, like you said, it rubs or it scratch around with the chicken, you scratch around, good. She started associating with this family where she was a cleaner, and she noticed that the children of the aristocrats, this was the habit they had. And you were saying, oh, they went to the best schools,
Private
but
schools.
you were not there to see what the effort the parents were putting up at home.
Behind
She
it.
learnt that culture from the family where
And
she was
took
a
it
cleaner.
home.
Yes.
She went home and transferred it to her children.
Yes.
Just like Chuk said, one of the things Ben Carson said the mother did was to shut down TV.
That's it.
TV time was regulated. They had the time to read.
There
He
is
said
this-
immediately his grade stopped, skyrocketed. And we don't need to say so much. You already know who Ben Carson is today.
Exactly,
You need to
exactly.
put in that
One
effort.
time United
You need to
States
make it put in that
presidential
effort.
aspirant.
Absolutely.
Or candidate.
You need to put in that
Absolutely.
effort.
So
You
we need to put in the
And then
effort.
another thing that she didn't mention in the Ben Carson story was that he actually had poor eyesight and he was sitting at the back of the class. And they had an ophthalmologist coming to their school one time and they were asking them to read. He couldn't read. So they discovered that he had poor eyesight. So we also have to help our children and do our usual
Make sure you
annual-
get your
annual
eyes
checkup.
pay
checked.
attention to your children.